The new season of Fortnite has been divisive at best.
Yeah, I will not be playing this season. I don't know if I'm joking either, dude. I'm very serious. I'm not joking.
When this season released, I thought it was great. Everyone was running around in cars, nobody knew what was going on. It was absolute chaos, and it was great. Fast forward about a month to the present day, I stopped playing Reload and decided to give regular Battle Royale a go. Now, for the most part, I actually enjoyed this. I'm apparently the only guy who likes the balance changes Fortnite did this season. I like the nerfs for the most part. I mean, I don't really think they've damaged the overall gameplay, at all. I mean, some people think it's ruined the season when the turret and boss cars are still very overpowered, as long as you have a bit of strategy and aren't just ramming into people. So you might be thinking, hang on, I've been clickbaited here. This fraud doesn't have a single problem with this season, and that is where you are wrong. I need someone to explain to me how the turrets were nerfed, how the boss cars were nerfed, how Nitro was nerfed, but the fists have been completely untouched. I mean, they did reduce the mobility charge by 1, but that was never the issue. Since Chapter 4 Season 1, we have had a melee item in the loot pool. We've got the hammer, the sword, the boomerang, I guess. We don't talk about this one. The grapple blade, the chains of Hades, and now the Nitro fists. With the possible exception of the chains of Hades, I remember these weapons being very balanced. The ones people loved were good for mobility and were also able to be used as a weapon. The mobility was the primary and the damage was secondary. Apart from this fraud, nobody was picking up the kinetic blade and going, "Ah yes, this sword's amazing damage output will help me get into the end game." No, it was for mobility first and damage second. But this season, the winds have changed. The Nitro Fists are just so difficult to fight against, it's unreal. The Nitro Fists damage output alone is what's keeping me from playing this season more, and the fact that I'm busy. It has good mobility and a very good damage output when it shouldn't be both. It should be one or the other. The other day I was playing a match with good loot, health and positioning, and then I heard the Nitro Fists. I couldn't see the guy and then I got smacked in the back of the head before I could do anything. My bad. The reason I like Reload a lot more at certain times is because you will almost always die for a reason that you can learn from. Oh, he was a higher skill level than me. Oh, I shouldn't have peeked as much. Oh, I shouldn't have jumped off the side of that one building and tilted. In Season 3, it's more like, oh, I wonder why I died. Oh, it's because I didn't have the fists. I see. Yes, how could I have been so stupid? I should have had the fists. My mistake. Now, I understand that melee weapons are supposed to help bridge the gap between higher skill players and lower skill level players. But to that I ask, what is the point in skill-based matchmaking then? Let's just take it back for a minute and ask ourselves two very basic questions. Are the Nitro Fists fun to use? Yes. Are the Nitro Fists fun to fight against? If your answer is yes, then fair enough, I guess, because my answer is almost always no. It just annoys me that everything has been nerfed to the ground except for the Nitro Fist damage output. Why nerf all the broken stuff and leave one thing as it was? I'm not saying that the Nitro Fist mobility is perfect either. Oh, they have their issues too. It's practically impossible to win an endgame without the Nitro Fist, so you might as well give up if you don't have one before 6th zone. Now, am I complaining because I died to the Nitro Fists one too many times? Yes. Is it a skill issue? I mean, it could be, but in my opinion, the Nitro Fists are built for a meta that was designed before the nerfs, and the Nitro Fists have not been updated accordingly. They are quite literally the only thing keeping me from saying that this is like a top 5 season of all time. Now, I haven't just come here to complain without offering any solutions. Solution 1. Split the loot pool between comp and casual. I'm not even a comp player, it's just getting annoying seeing this argument come up every time a new item is added. Also, add Siphon to ranked, why is that not in the game? Solution 2. Focus more on the mobility of the Nitro Fist, meaning make them have a lot less damage. Keep the charges on the normal ones as they are, but give the mythic one 2 more charges. Make the Nitro Fist more easily available through vending machines, NPC, or just standard loot drops, making it easier for the average player to get their hands on them, which gives them the option to put it in their loadouts for easy rotations or to use that extra inventory slot for another item which could help them later on in the game. This makes it so that not as many players are disadvantaged when it comes to endgame fights and rotations, but it also encourages other players to use other strategies to rotate, as many people will be using Nitro Fists to fly through the open air, leaving them open for easy kills. But this also also encourages other methods of playstyle for other players that aren't rotating with the Nitro Fist, due to the fact that other players expect people to fly in the open air with Nitro Fists, therefore their eyes are more likely to be looking up, which allows for other players to use other tactics to rotate to the next circle. Does that solution work? I don't know. Maybe this has just made everything worse, but that's how I would save Fortnite Season 3.